So it's been a while since my last video, about 4 months actually, and a lot has changed for me. Over the last 4 months, I have completely changed my life. I've left bricks and mortar for, here it is, a bell tent. No more bricks, no more gas and electric bills, no more rent or mortgages. I've completely changed everything, not because I wanted to, but because I needed to. But what it has done is enable me to truly live what I talk about, what I preach. So what has the first 4 months been like? What is it truly like to live in a tent, full time, go to work, cook your meals, leave it during the day? I'm gonna run you through my setup and why I've changed everything to live out here. So this is a canvas 5-meter bell tent, kindly supplied by the guys over at King Camp. This is the Cairn C500, and I did a review on this tent a few months ago. And even in that review, I said, it's the sort of thing I could live in. But I didn't actually think I'd be living in it. But now I am. Now, the last 4 months has not been easy. I have had ups and downs. And this is from someone that camps a lot, all the time, in loads of different tents. I'm going to give you a little tour inside the Cairn C500 by King Camp, how I've set it up, how I've been living for the last 4 months. And then feel free to leave a comment below. Let me know if you can better my situation slightly, any tips, any advice, or maybe it will just give other people out there a bit of hope that want to do something similar. So let's go inside the tent and have a little look. This is a new addition today, actually, these little wooden tiles. There is a purpose. I don't want water getting in. Let's roll her back. Let's undo the fly screen. And you can come inside. So here we are, welcome inside where I've been living for the last 4 months. Being in the wild has definitely taken a different turn, but it has given me a chance to experience what I talk about, what I preach. Let's have a little look around. Now, I did think about spending hours and hours tidying up to try and get the place before I did the video, but then I thought it's probably not that realistic doing that. Let's just show you as is. And this is a typical day inside the tent. So first thing, the log burner. I didn't have one straight away. And the first thing I noticed was a canvas bell tent like this doesn't hold the heat as well as a Hilleberg Solo, for example. Not even kind of a one Tigris. It really loses the heat. So a log burner is something I'd never used before, especially inside a tent, but wanted to. I picked up this one on Amazon. It was about £160. Not the worst log burner in the world. It chucks out a lot of heat. It takes a lot of learning, a lot of getting used to, but I found my way around it. There's a few faults, and within a couple of months, it's already developed a little kink in the metal that's not great, but it is still usable for the minute. And you can see there, the wood piled up at the back. I've got my gloves here for handling anything hot and not super glamorous, but just down in the corner there, I've got my washing up bowl and a draining system. Oh, and most importantly, a fire extinguisher just down there for safety. Also, I think it's important to note a carbon monoxide alarm. I've preached about this in one of my other videos. If you are having any type of fire, definitely have a carbon monoxide alarm. So the next thing I want to show you guys is this folding fiberglass table from King Camp. It's available on Amazon. It's available from King Camp directly. I'll put links in the description if you do like the look of it. I have to say, it is not one of the cheaper tables out there, but the quality is outstanding. It is folding, it packs up in its own case, and if you go on the website, you can see the layers it's made up of. Super, super sturdy. I love the adjustable legs that it's got, because obviously the ground here isn't even, but the table is. This is kind of the area I spend a lot of time, whether that be editing Beard in the Wild videos, eating meals, and just a space for charging everything. I'm a big, big fan of this table. The quality is exceptional, and it's just one of those products that's just real high quality. So you can really tell I've put on no airs and graces, haven't tied it up today. And down the bottom there, we can see power. The place that I am does give me access to electricity. At the beginning, I was actually starting with a Jackery and a solar system. And my goodness, did it become admin. To be somewhere now where I've got this electricity made a huge, huge difference. I'm really wild camping with a massive 40-inch TV, aren't I? One of the things I did notice, as well as after getting the log burner, the admin a log burner requires. I mean, just trying to keep a log burner going throughout the night, compose its difficulties, especially if it's a cheaper one off Amazon like that. So because there's electricity, I did decide to get an oil-filled radiator in here. That makes a huge difference. Low power consumption. You can keep it on most of the time. It takes the chill out the air, and it's been a godsend. I also, for really cold nights, picked up this little ceramic heater from B&Q. It's got a thermostat option on there, so it'll kick in when you want to keep at a certain temperature. Lovely for first thing in the morning. And next up, we've got this bed. This bed, I challenge anyone to get a comfier night's sleep on a camping bed. This is the gorgeous double inflatable bed from King Camp. I have made a few adaptations. I've added a large topper onto it. It didn't need it because it comes with its own topper that surrounds the inflatable thing. I am going to do a full video of a review on this because I am that impressed with it. I've blown it up once. It's not gone down on me at all. Absolutely phenomenal bed. I've got a pretty modest cook system in here. I didn't tidy it up, apologies. This was just a second-hand Facebook find, kind of like a kitchen camping thing from Trespass. It's done me really well, to be fair. Because of the electricity, really nice to get a toaster and a kettle. I did kind of have gas hobs at first, but there was just a lot of admin with that and it took a lot longer. And heading off to work, I just needed to get stuff cracked on and done quickly. Now, kettle, toaster, and keep the majority of my food in there. A couple of chopping boards, ample space here. A slow cooker if I ever want to get a chicken on the go, and an air fryer, because let's face it, air fryers, who could live without one of those? I probably should have mentioned the fridge. Now, when I was running on the Jackery and solar, having a fridge just wasn't possible. I picked up this one on Amazon. Again, there'll be a link down below. I'm really impressed. This is by Bouge RV. I can keep pretty much from a freezer temperature up to whatever you want. It hasn't let me down so far. It is big enough. I'm scared to open it because I don't know what I've got in there, but let's give it a go. Okay. So, big enough to fit cartons in like so. There's my strawberry milkshake, oat milk, jam, butter, some ham, and some sausages then for when my boys come over later. And you can see underneath my feet, these mats. Basically, every time I see one on Facebook Marketplace, I pick them up. I'm not fussed about the colour. It's mismatching. It's not driving my OCD too crazy. In fact, I quite like it. But the difference a few rugs is making on the floor is absolutely massive. And definitely you need a mat to be wiping your feet and taking your shoes off. Ironically, not done that now. There has been quite a few learnings with living in a bell tent for 4 months. Storms in the UK weather will be one of them. Let's head on outside and I'm going to show you some of the changes I've had to make basically because of the weather. Now, even today, whilst filming this, I've had to put a wind muff on the mic. Over here, I've got a little shelter. I'm just keeping random bits of firewood that I find for any outside fires that I wish to have. It's not been seasoned or treated, so it's not really suitable for the log burner inside, but it is outside. This flag has a purpose. Genuinely, at first, it was just because I wanted the Welsh flag, but knowing where the wind is coming from at all times has been a massive, massive thing. I know where it's coming from. I know what side of the tent is going to get impact. I can even move the truck round as a bit of a wind block if I want. Moving my truck hasn't quite been enough to help. So I'm going to show you what I've done to some of the guy lines now. I do like the fact that on the log burner, you can see the chimney at the top that goes out there, as well as a spark arrestor does have these guy lines attached to it. I don't know if it's gimmicky, but it makes me feel a little bit more secure. Now, one of my daily routines and rituals is to go out and check the guy lines around the tent. And you can see I've gone a little bit excessive with these. The standard guy line is this white one here. I then installed these yellow ones. They're off Amazon. They're really, really good quality and a bit longer. Basically, when you're putting up one of these bell tents, the longer your guy line, the higher you can have the sides. I see a lot of people using guy lines and mounting them down here and wonder why they're not getting the full width of or the full height on here. And that's one of the reasons why. With some of the storms that we've also had in the UK, I've installed these straps that go down to these ground anchors. So these ground anchors come about that high off the ground and screw in like corkscrews. I think they're great. And then these straps, you can just pull these and tighten them up as you like. One of those additional straps there one there, just your standards there. On the front here, one of these huge straps. The ones I got on Amazon weren't big enough, so I got this Bison gear one going down to a ground anchor. As a standard for me, I've got my wood chopping block, my axes, a few chairs, a little outside cook set up there, a few chairs that I love, and an amazing chair from King Camp. More like a sun lounger, so probably not great for this time of year in the UK, but an absolutely phenomenal piece of kit. There'll be a separate video for that anyway. I did say that I want to show you this at night, and I will do. So we're going to wait for the sun to set. We're going to get inside and I'm going to show you this setup. When I've got the lights going, the log burner going, the fairy lights on, it truly is a magical place. So this is what my nighttime setup looks like, and it is my favourite time in the tent, without a doubt. So the log burner made such a big difference to the tent. It's about 6 degrees out there now in the UK, getting a little bit nippy. However, inside the tent, I've had to keep the outer door open. The heat it's throwing out is immense. This little fan really circulates it round. It's got to be 21 degrees in here. The hoodie will have to come off soon. It's too warm, but that's when we can start managing the air vents on this log burner, turn it down and keep that burning for a long time after we've thrown a couple of big logs in there. I love my little desk setup at night time. King Camp providing this table transformed things as well. Having a cheap table in here was okay, but this gives it that element of home. I feel like I'm sitting at something robust and quality. It's a real good table. I love sitting here with the warm light, editing of a night time, or even eating my dinner. And dinner tonight is nothing fancy at all. Chicken tikka masala, warm that through, bit of bread, we're good. And in the evening, all I want to do is settle down into this double bed from King Camp again, put some Netflix on and just chill. It's a real peaceful way of just living, to be honest. So 4 months ago, I changed my whole life. I settled into a tent and I left the bricks and mortar. What it cost me now to live per month is roughly what my gas and electric bill used to cost me. There's a big difference. I wouldn't suggest for anyone or everyone to rush out and do this. There's a lot to think about, there's a lot of planning, and there's a lot of stuff you have to learn. I know this is set up for easy living, but you have to get there first. You have to understand the insulation under the floor, how to fab seal and proof a canvas tent. There are loads of factors you have to consider. Would I go back? Definitely not. Never again. Would I move to a caravan? Maybe. But after being married for 20 years, getting screwed over twice, this is the life I've chosen, and I could not be happier. Have I done everything right? Definitely not. Are there people going to pull this apart in the comments? 100%. Just watching back this video, the amount of things I've done wrong will be countless. But I'm the one who's here, and I'm the one who's living it. I'm the one who's learning. Is my channel completely different now? No. it's got a new element to it, but I can still walk over the way and try out new hammocks, bivvy bags and sleeping bags and tents. I can still take trips and head off to wherever I want to go. The only difference now is I live in a tent, which is crazy. I'm not homeless and I don't smell and I eat well, too well. That's changing soon as well. If you've got to the end of the video, congratulations. You are proven to have a higher IQ than those who didn't make it to the end, roughly 50 points higher. Do us a favor, leave a comment below, hit that subscribe button, push the bell thingy, do all the stuff that everyone asks and no one ever does. I could do the whole Diary of a CEO approach and say, a lot of you don't realize that you're not subscribed. Anyway, look, I really appreciate you getting to the end if you're still here. The videos are coming back. This is the first one, living full time in a bell tent. My name's Andy and this is Beard in the Wild.